we'll let this send out the notifications. And I'm going to hopefully get my chat updated so I can talk to you guys real time. There we go. Alright, a little different tonight. I do have the light off above me. I don't know if that's good or bad. I can adjust this light a little bit. Kind of looks hazy to me. I might need to turn the light on. We'll see what happens. Hope everybody's having a great week. It's Friday. The weekend is here. I don't have to work tomorrow, so that's always a good thing. I can hear Charlotte barking, so if that gets annoying, let me know. I'll yell for her to stop barking. She might not hear me if you're new here. Charlotte is deaf, so kind of a joke. Only if you know that she's deaf. Anyways, Mickey said, hope your catfish eggs wasn't kicked out of the cave. Would like to see some catfish eggs or fry. So Mickey, these were definitely in the sand substrate per the picture on the community page earlier. This is the first time I've ever seen eggs in this tank. Now, if you guys have been following, I do have one baby that hatched out a couple months ago, and I actually just saw him a little bit earlier. I was looking in the caves, and it seems like these brilliant bristlenose don't really lay eggs and then fan them like the super reds or bushy nose do. I contacted a little while ago the previous owner of this breeding group, a master breeder here, and I said, hey, like, were you polling caves when you were breeding these? He said that he never saw them actually put eggs down and stay on them. He would just randomly find the babies in the tank. So I feel like that they're kind of just randomly dropping eggs. If the picture of this live stream is actually this plant right here, because there's 3 eggs. One looks fertilized, the other 2 do not look fertilized. But I'm kind of letting nature do its thing. I'm not pulling eggs. I'm letting it go. And I kind of look. There's a couple eggs scattered here and there throughout the tank. So I'm gonna let them go and see what comes of it. I'm kind of excited that these eggs are at least up here in the front, so that way I can monitor them and see if there is development. But anyways, Vanessa says, let your dog in with you. She is so cute. The door's open. They can both come in here. I'm assuming Charlotte's barking at Havana because Havana has a bone, and Charlotte likes to take it from her. Not that Charlotte wants to chew on it. She just likes stealing it from Havana, and she runs around for a minute, and then she gives the bone up, and then, it's that whole cycle of, I want it, so you can't have it type deal. But I'm sure they'll come in here at some point during this live stream. But good to see everybody. I did a members only live stream on Sunday. It was a pretty good live stream. Got to talk to the normal members, which was a lot of fun. I was mentioning, and we kind of talked about some products that are coming out. Last week's live stream, I mentioned that I'm testing decapsulated baby brine shrimp. What that is if you hatch baby brine shrimp, instead of being alive, this is their eggs. It's decapsulated using some sort of chemical method. I'm not exactly sure the process behind it. So you're getting like basically a raw egg. And from what I read online, the reason why I got into this is it's supposed to be actually more nutritional than live baby brine. And the reason behind that is if you have an egg and then you just eat the egg, you're getting all that nutrition. But if you hatch it, that hatching requires using up a lot of that protein and nutrients to hatch. So there are good things and bad things versus both. I really do like live feeding better because everything's moving around the tank. It gives a chance for the fish to catch stuff. The negative, though, is the time it takes to hatch baby brine shrimp every single day if you have like a fish room going, or if you're breeding fish. If you got some small fry, if you got angelfish fry, even rainbow fish, things like that. It could just be a hassle. You gotta get into a groove of doing it every single day. This is just a product that kind of supplements, really, if you're not doing live baby brine, but you wanted to get some of that extra protein and fat for those fry, this is a good substitute. So I'm still testing it. Before anything goes live, I do test the products and make sure it's worthwhile. But so far so good. I will probably do a video using the products, that way you guys can see what it's like, and we'll go from there. The other product that I mentioned, here comes Charlotte. Um, where is she? Come here, Charlotte. She can't hear me, but come here. Come here. People want to see you. You get to see the back of her head. Um, the other one is the 614 Salt, and it's going to be a 2-pound bag. I mentioned this to my members. It's a 2-pound bag of freshwater salt. It's not marine salt. It's specifically for freshwater. Matt with the 614 Super Chat, appreciate you, bud. Didn't say nothing, just dropping the Super Chat. Appreciate you as always, Matt. Anyways, what you doing? We just have to have a little photo bomber here. They probably want to see your face because you're pretty. You want to look at the camera? No? Okay. Well, I'm just going to pet her. That's all she wants. But, yeah, so 614 Salt. I just got to get labels. I got to, like, talk to the side. I just got to get labels made. And, that's it. It's ready to rock. What? Yeah. Anyways, if you have any questions, if you're new here, make sure you tag me at SC Aquatics. It will highlight it in the chat, and that way I can see the question if you have any questions. If you're new here, I know Big Rich has been doing really awesome, is plugging my channel. So you might be new here tonight. If you are, I do freshwater shrimp and nano fish. I'm not a monster fish keeper as of yet, but I do have somewhere around 55 fish tanks throughout my house. I do have a fish room and tanks randomly throughout my house, which hopefully that will change once I get the garage converted over to a fish room, and I can get bigger tanks. All right, guys. I'm going to scroll through the chat real quick, see if there's any questions. And here's a perfect one. Tank Top Tropics. Can I order your stickers at SC Aquatics? I actually don't have any right now. I have one left, and I'll show you. So whenever I was doing packages, I had this big spool, and this is actually something random. I 3D printed this holder, which I thought was pretty cool of me. I designed it and everything, but they came on these big rolls, and then I also had Kiss Cut singles, but I'm currently out. But the good news is I have to get new labels for these new products, for the Decapsulated Brine shrimp and for the 614 Salt. So at the same time, I will get new stickers. And what I was doing before I ran out was I was putting a sticker in every order, so just something a little extra to give people whenever they ordered stuff. And speaking of ordering, thank you everybody for your orders this week. 614fish.com if you don't know. I did update the plants tonight. Real quickly, I ran through the fish room and just kind of got eyes on what plants are available. And so I did update the inventory as best as I could. I need to really go through some of the smaller tanks and see what's in there as far as plants. But yeah. Mickey said, do you still have the axolotls? I still have the axolotls. They are currently eating rosy red fish, and they are little pigs. So typically what I do is whenever I go to my local wholesaler for fish, I pick up some rosy reds. And I usually get like 2 dozen, and they will eat 2 dozen rosy reds in just over like 24 hours. So I typically go on a Tuesday to the wholesaler, and I come home, and this is usually like on my lunch break. I come home, put the rosy reds in, and then by the next day, definitely by the time I get home from work the next day, they're all gone. Usually half of them disappear that night, and then the other half are the next day. So they definitely eat like crazy. They don't get like super bulky off of it, which is kind of surprising. You would think if you ate 2 dozen fish, you would look like a fat Albert or something like that. But they still look good. So I was really hoping those rosy reds would last longer than just a day and a half. But because they do kind of gorge, I only do that once a week with the rosy reds, and then I supplement them with the ONIP tabs. But I might try to do, I did a slow motion video of them eating the ONIP tabs. I might try to do a slow motion video of a live feeding. And now there are people that are against live feeding, but this is something that the axolotls eat in the wild. They eat fish. That's what they are evolved to do, is eat fish that swim by them. So it is completely natural. So I'm sorry if you get offended by live fish feeding, but it's science. It is what it is. But I would like to get that maybe on slow motion, because I find it fascinating the way axolotls eat, how quickly they can strike. The thing that's funny about axolotls is their eyesight's not the best. They're kind of clumsy. So a lot of times they'll try to strike at something, and then they don't get anything. But when they're on it, it's quick, and it's fun to watch. Mrs. Melhead Prime, you want to get rid of those lotls. I actually have plans for the axolotls here in the future. If that falls through, Mrs. Melhead, I will definitely let you know. But yeah, so Jennifer Park says, "How do I stop nipping in angels?" All right, so to be honest, I've never have kept angelfish, but I know with fin nippers in general, two things need to happen to help alleviate that. One would be an eyesight break. So if it's a big open tank and all the fish can see each other, they could be aggressive towards each other. That you can help break that up with decorations like rocks. You can use plants, whether it's live plants or fake plants. And then the other thing is, a lot of times you can get some sort of dither fish to keep their attention off the other angels. So if you got an aggressive angel swimming around, if he starts seeing other fish, he might get distracted. The dither fish, it's not only, a lot of people think dither fish is for helping fish to feel comfortable to breed, but it's also really to distract some of the other fish too. So I would recommend, try and get a eye line break so that they're not constantly seeing other fish, or get some other fish in that tank that are compatible. And a good one, I always recommend Danios. They're very fast, and so that keeps them from being fin nipped themselves. They're usually really good community fish, and I keep giant Danios in with my fancy goldfish with no issues. As far as if anybody's worried about Danios attacking other long fin fish, I keep them with fancy goldfish and they do just fine. Let me see. Josh Price, good to see you. Hope your boat's coming along. It's very awesome that you got boat. I need to unwrap my boat and get working on it. The weather is starting to get nicer. It was super nice down here in Columbus the other week, but this week it got super cold. Last week it was warm. I think we hit like 80 degrees 1 or 2 days, and then this week it's been in the 40s. So not boating weather yet, but it's coming. Chevy Fish, thank you so much for posting the website link at 614fish.com. If you're new to the channel, I do run a discount code just for you guys on YouTube, and the discount code is simply that. It's YouTube. Saves you 10% off your complete order, and I still get random questions, not very often. It's on the front page. What does shipping cost? Now, if you buy hard goods, which will be, these things that you see behind me, they're all throughout my house. Hard goods like fish food, medicines, sponge filters, fertilizers, anything like that, a hard good is $9.99, and then free shipping at $50. Plants fall under that same category, so it's $9.99. You spend $50, you get free shipping. So I highly encourage you guys to try to get to that free shipping mark, because it saves you $10. And then anything that's live other than plants, so any fish, will ship for $34.99. And that's 2-day or faster shipping. It kind of depends on where you live. If you live far away, it usually takes 2 days. And that includes, I know, like, I've had people say that's expensive. I understand that, but shipping's not cheap. And I use the 1-inch styrofoam, and that includes any heat packs or cold packs, any accessories that are needed to get the fish to you. And I do a live fish arrival guarantee, so if the fish show up dead, for whatever reason, a package gets delayed, if there's a heat issue, a cold issue, I guarantee the fish will get there to you alive. So that's what it is. And yeah, if the water isn't frozen, it's boating weather. I don't know about that, Matt. It's a little chilly when it's 40 degrees outside and you're on the water. It gets really cold really quickly. And my boat did not get in the water last year, so the first time out this year, it's going to be interesting, making sure nothing has dry rotted all the seals and gaskets. I hope everything's still good, and I'll have to get it out there. I need to do some tuning on the engine, get it perfect. It was running fine-ish. It ran perfect if you were beating the crap out of it, but at low speed, it was running pretty rich. So I think the carb really needs taken off and cleaned up. I think the float was sticking on it. I have new speakers for the boat too. So I put a radio in it, but I had these kind of cheap speakers. It just didn't sound that great. And so I got some new speakers like 2 years ago for it. Haven't put them in yet, so that's a project. And a ladder. The boat didn't come with a ladder, so if you go tubing or you jump off the boat to go swimming, it was a pain in the butt to get back on the boat. So I bought a nice ladder for it 2 years ago. Need to put it on. What kind of boat is it? It's a, oh gosh. Oh, I forget the brand. It's an open bow boat, and it's 20 feet long, 21 feet, 19 feet, between 19 and 21 feet. I'm not a huge boating person. I bought it because it was a good deal, and I'm into all sorts of recreational sports, so yeah, I forget the name of the brand right now. I'm trying to picture the back of the boat, and I can't even think of it right now. It's been wrapped up for a year and a half now. So yeah, it's a 3-liter inline motor, and it's old. It's older, but it floats and it runs and it's fun. Chevy Fish says next week is below freezing at night. Are you skipping shipping till the week after at SC? So if it's plants, I still ship plants because plants do good as long as they don't freeze. Fish will ship if it's. I try to keep it now. I've been setting a rule now where it's got to be above 50s now. Period. I ran into cold spells where it was dipping into the 40s, and I was getting fish losses. So even with heat packs, and I've been doubling up on heat packs. They are the 72-hour heat packs going out with fish, and I've been sending 2 of them in every order, and there's still issues. So it depends. Like if you live in Florida, I'll ship to you. But if you live in Colorado and it's cold, you just have to realize I will delay it. I typically will email you saying, "Hey, due to weather, I'm delaying this the shipment to you in the best interest of the fish." There are fish that will die, and it's super unfortunate. But I will do everything I can to make it right, because in the end, you guys are the ones buying the fish, so you're expecting to get fish for your money. So it's not like, oh, sorry, like one of them died, like too bad. Like no, like if one fish dies, I won't ship you one fish, but I'll refund you that fish for sure. Now, if there was some sort of mass DOA, like you lost a bunch of fish because of like some sort of cold weather snap, the post office lost the package for a week, I would just resend the whole order. Matt says, speaking of heat packs, mine are still hot today. Yeah, so I mentioned this last week. I'm constantly evolving the way I ship fish. I look back a year and a half ago how I ship fish to where I'm at now, and I'm sure I could get even better than I'm doing now. I think, honestly, the next step in the evolution of me shipping fish would be going to overnight shipping only, but the problem with that is it's super expensive. And Matt, speaking of overnight shipping, when I shipped you your fish, it was 2 days. I looked at one day, and that box was like $64 to ship. So I was looking at, like, I'm trying to, like, memorize, or I need to write down how much would it cost to overnight ship these fish. And Matt, to you, it was like $65. So I'm just keeping that in mind. Like if I want to eventually do an option where somebody could buy for overnight shipping, rainbow fish are really finicky shipping, so that might be one of those things where I need to try to condense them down. Maybe use breather bags and do early AM overnight, and it might be something. I'll have to look into. Chevy Fish said, "I won't order live unless it's appropriate weather." Yeah, I mean, I still get orders from Wisconsin, Minnesota. Um, I shipped some live fish to Iowa, and I forget the other state over the last 2 weeks. And it's just I have to. People are like, "Yeah, I want these fish," and maybe they're thinking like it's foolproof. Like I put heat packs in it, and the fish will get there perfectly fine. Well, those heat packs, while they do get, I don't even want to say they get hot, but they put off heat. If it's 40 degrees outside and that box is sitting on a truck that's not heated, or if it's sitting in a warehouse that's not heated, those heat packs really don't stand a chance if it's sitting there overnight. If it's like low 40s, like the box is just too cold. I don't know if you guys heard her yawn, but that was a yawn. She's staring at me. Give her some pets. So yeah, it just people place orders, and so far, to be honest, every package I have delayed, I have not had a single complaint about it, which is super awesome. Typically, like 90% of my orders are all people from YouTube or experienced fish keepers, so they know that it's cold, that holding the fish is great. But I've never had anybody complain like when I email them like, "Hey, like I have a cold snap here. Like I'm going to hold your fish for another day or for until next Monday." Usually it's like, "Oh, cool, well, thanks for the update." Like, I've never had somebody complain about it, which is super awesome. I think everybody's smart enough or cares enough to understand that. And with shipping, I look at the destination zip code. I usually will type in the city that's going to in Google Maps or in Google. If you just type in a city, let's say Los Angeles, California, in Google, Google automatically puts the weather right there on the page. It's not like I have to go to a weather website and I can see what the next 5 days are. I know what my weather is here, and then there was a way. I don't know if it was NOAA, but there was a website where you could plan a trip and then you see your weather on the way there. And I originally looked into that, but what turned out to happen was I don't really know how the packages exactly get to LA. So from here in Ohio to LA, it might tell me take Freeway 70 for 20 hours out west, but my package might actually go to Florida first and then over to LA. There's no set direction, it seems like, because I've had packages that were supposed to go to St. Louis, which is west of me, go to North Carolina first, and then to St. Louis. So, it's very hard to try to predict weather on the way. But if it's something like a couple months ago where we had that national cold storm that hit Texas really hard, that's a pretty easy one. Be like, all right, no one's getting packages down south, period. And then everything up north, because of the whole storm system down south, even stuff up north got delayed. Fish and Floral said had warm in Minnesota past couple weeks, but it's chilly again right now. That's exactly the weather we have right now. It was warm last week and the week before. I'm pretty sure last week it was the 80s I was talking about, but this week it's like 40s, touching into the 50s. Pretty cold. I went from full AC last week to full heat this week. And we're kind of, with Ohio, we're starting to get to that time of year where it's like, on my way to work, I'm cranking the heat, and then on the way home from work, cranking the AC. This week it was not like that. I didn't have to run the AC at all, but Midwest, it's the life of a Midwestern. Matt says I'm in Iowa. Yep, so I shipped some fish to Iowa to Matt. And then Matt, there was somebody else in Iowa that I shipped to. Let me... Did you name your boat? Asked Kel Bell. I did not name my boat. My friend unofficially named the boat Big Shrimpin'. I think it was he's not a fish person. He knows I was breeding shrimp. I think it was supposed to be kind of like Big Pimpin', but he called it Big Shrimpin'. So the unofficial name is Big Shrimpin'. But yep, nothing official on the boat. That's funny. So Brooke Hawley says, Steven, you lost weight, looking good. I haven't lost any weight. Somebody mentioned that last weekend about me losing weight, and I haven't lost any. So I don't. Camera is doing me some favors, apparently, the last couple weeks. But you're the second person that's mentioned that, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But IHSP says, "Dang, top chat." Yep, I'm. Oh, I'm in top chat too. My bad. My bad. Okay, let me get back. All right. Shaggy Fish says 30s here at night, 50s daytime. That's where we're about. Um, all right. So I mentioned that the website is updated with the plants. I'm still waiting on Fritz medications for anybody that was waiting for that. They just have been out of stock. I keep my eye on it every few days. I log in. They don't know. The wholesaler, last time I emailed them, which was months ago, about the situation, said, you have a set time when Fritz products come in. They said they don't know. They place their orders, and it's just kind of, it gets there when it gets there, which kind of sucks for me because I'm trying to get them. Fritz is always a really good seller, between Marison and Paraclins, Fritz Complete. I just can't get any of it right now. I think IHSP says, I think it's because you have a bit of color after the 2 weeks of good weather, gives a healthier look to just about everyone. Maybe that's the case. I'm not sure, but luckily it has been getting, the sun has been coming out a little bit here and there, so that's a nice thing. Rochester, Minnesota was the last place I shipped fish to, because I just went to weather.com and it was still in there. Um, but I was curious about our loaves. It's not, well, I guess I was going to say it's not hateful. This coming week, it's going to be 67 high and lows of 34. So that still kind of is not ideal. So shipping fish is going to depend on where you guys live. Because if it's 40s here, it's not a huge deal shipping out because I drop off all the fish to a location that is heated. So whether I ship USPS or UPS, and the way I do fish and shipping is it's two things: time and money. So if it's, I always lean towards time. I'd rather fish get there quicker. If it costs me more money, I'll pay the extra money to get the fish there quicker. And so I always shoot for that 2 day mark. Depending on where you live, sometimes it's 3 days. And when I go to punch in the order to ship out through my shipping software, it says, all right, this package will cost you $30 to ship to here, and it will cost you $35 to ship it to here via USPS. If it's the same amount of time, if they both say it'll take 3 days or 2 days, let's say they both take 2 days, the deciding factor then will be which one is a bit cheaper. Because shipping is expensive. So even though you guys are generous enough to pay that $34.99 for the live shipping, I typically end up losing, in the greater scheme of things, I lose money on shipping live fish, because there will be those orders where somebody orders $20 in fish, and then they still pay the shipping, but the profit on the $20 of fish doesn't really make up for it. Chris says, love the Hikari food wall. My room looks the same. Squirrel. Yep, that's, I got some products out of stock that I need to get back in stock. I had a large order last week, and I had another large order this week of just kind of random Hikari foods, so it kind of killed the inventory. And with ordering wholesale, I have to have a minimum not fish food order. I have to have a minimum purchase order. So I try to wait until I can get as many products back in stock in one order, because I don't want to drop $500 just on fish food and then the next week the Fritz medications come in stock, and I got to drop another $500 to get the medications and then some other stuff. Shrimp King foods have been moving well, so thank you guys for that. If you guys are interested, I do have the Shrimp King shrimp foods now. I'm running low on inventory, but it's kind of this first batch of inventory was really seeing which Shrimp King foods are the most popular. And right now, the Shrimp Complete, Shrimp Protein, and the 5-in-1, those three are the most popular. So when I go to reorder the Shrimp King foods, we're more heavily on those three. Just looking at statistics, those are the three that sell the best. Vanessa says, I'm near Minneapolis, sitting right by the fireplace. It's cold. I honestly, I don't think I used my fireplace at all this winter. Texas Fishroom, he ordered some Shrimp King food. He says, my shrimp are liking the Shrimp King foods I got from you. Yeah, the Shrimp King foods, they're really good. They are kind of expensive, but they're a high quality shrimp food specifically designed for shrimp. I do carry the Shrimp Cuisine by Hikari. That's also a really good food. And, shrimp are no different than fish. Variety is the spice of life for them. So giving them maybe some algae wafers, they will eat on algae wafers. Shrimp King foods, the Hikari Shrimp Cuisine. If you can also give them green beans, they'll munch on green beans. I like to, all my fish, I like to try to vary their diet somehow at least once a week. The main food I use is the Tetracolor Tropical Granules, because I buy cases of it at a time, because I go through a jar of that basically a week feeding all the fish, and if not more. It depends on kind of my fish load. If I have a ton of guppy fry, I might be feeding heavier, or if fish come in extra small, I might be feeding them heavier to try to get some size on them. And then, I vary it up. Even the guppies will eat the algae wafers. They pretty much eat everything. Fish and Flora said, I just saw the snow for Monday. Ugh. Chevy Fish just dropped a link to the Shrimp King foods if anybody's interested. Thank you so much, Chevy Fish. You are on top of it. My mods are super awesome. I couldn't do this without my mods. IHSP, Chevy Fish, Matt's a mod. I forgot Matt made you a moderator. That was last week, but my mods are on top of it, and I appreciate you guys. Alright, I think I'm caught up on the questions. IHSP says, SC Tank Top Tropics, want to know if you carry stickers. I forgot if you covered that. I'm out of stickers right now. I will try to get them on my next sticker order. I've been out of the stickers actually for a long time now, but it was kind of like one of those priority things where I was trying to see where I wanted to invest my money. Do I want to spend $300 on stickers, or put $300 into product testing? Which, this is the salt. This is 2 pounds. 2-pound bag. There is a little bit of a air gap in the top, which I personally don't like. That drives me nuts. I would prefer to see the whole thing full, which I guess if you this is what's called a gusseted bag, so it stands upright. I guess if you squish it down, it looks full, right? But once you, I don't know. I personally don't like the top, but guess where that label's going to go? The label for this bag's going to cover that up. But it is 2 pounds, and I do this all by hand, so it comes in bulk to me, and then I put everything on a scale and weigh it out to get the 2 pounds, and then I gotta label it, heat seal the bag to keep moisture out of it, and then it'll be for sale. But I gotta wait on labels, and then that will be on the website. Chris says, I love the Hikari shrimp. I am looking for a Hikari cichlid floating pellet between baby and medium. Any help? Between baby and medium. Between baby and medium. You know what's funny is, is this on? You see the spot right here in the where is it? Where's my finger? Right there. That's open because I brought in mini baby, medium, and large. And I was like, all right, I'll bring in small. Can't get small. I don't even know if they make small, but the wholesaler does not have small. Let me see if they have that. Small Hikari. Mini pellets, mini pellets, mini. So I don't think they have actual small, because everything in here is listing the same thing: minis and babies. I'm trying to think what would be floating in something that's in that small range. Oh man, I don't have. Yeah, I don't really have a good recommendation for you, because I don't actively feed um, cichlid food, because the only cichlids I have are the convict cichlids, and they get the tetracolor tropical granules, because it's way easier for me to feed one basic food for all the fish tanks. Even the shrimp get that, and then I do the specialty foods for the target feeding. So the shrimp get the tetracolor tropical granules every single day, and then they get fed either the Sarah sinking shrimp granules or the Hikari, and then I target feed like the bushy nose Plecos. They get between algae wafers or the Sarah catfish chips. It's still my favorite algae wafer is the Sarah brand. I think that's awesome with the wood that's in it, and I'm trying to think what other fish I target feed other than like live baby brine and currently the decapsulated brine shrimp. Um, Green beans also is the one thing I'll throw in there for the plecos. The cories eat the green beans. The guppies will munch on them. Green beans, I feel like are super easy. So I know people will buy the frozen green beans and then they blanch them. I just buy the canned green beans and I get the sliced ones. It might be like French style, maybe, and I get the ones that have like no salt added or like low sodium. I dump them, rinse them a little bit, and really sodium doesn't bother me adding it to the tank. But I just do a quick rinse, nothing crazy, and I just put them in. They're already kind of shredded. The plecos go to town. The snails go to town. That's the other thing I thought about was I forgot to mention snails. Um, Not sure if it floats or fruit size, but what about North Fin options? So North Fin, I have the Beta Bits and the Fry Starter. I'm sure North Fin's got a cichlid food that'd be perfect. I just don't carry it. If that's something you're interested in, I can look into it, and I need to do a North Fin order anyways and replenish some North Fin foods. The Fry Starter has been selling like crazy, so that's awesome. So when I order more of the Fry Starter, I want to bring on the community, North Fin community, because I really do like the North Fin foods. I feel like that's a premium food. It is not cheap. It's not super expensive, but it's not cheap. Um, Chris says I feed all my fish fresh zucchini slices. Once in a while, I'll do cucumbers, um, and I fail at blanching them. So I boil the water, put them in there, and they always want to float for me, and I can never get them to sink. So I end up putting them on forks and tossing forks into my tanks. What I need to do is get on Amazon or eBay and buy a cheap set of like stainless steel forks and cut the stems off so it's just a fork. I know people use clips and they'll clip it, but I like forks because the fish can get to like all edges of it, or plecos or snails, versus the clips. But yeah, I thought about just getting a cheap set of forks and cutting them off and using those, and I can toss them in. IHSP says, me, I just feed the first bites and my larger food alternating days for a week to 10 days. How about wooden kebab sticks? Do wooden kebab sticks sink? Um, that'd be my question. So I have wooden kebab sticks. I think they're like bamboo skewers. I actually bought when I built my rock wall, the waterfall in my 75-gallon, which is like when I first got in the hobby, and I used the wooden sticks to put the styrofoam blocks together. I think I don't know if they sink. I think they would probably float, but I think those are like bamboo wood, if I remember right. Jim says best food to feed a clown pleco. The guy at my LFS said I didn't have to feed him. So you clown plecos like munching on wood. So back to the Sarah catfish chips. All I have, if you don't have it, or if your local LFS doesn't have them, I do sell them. But currently, I brought in the new smaller size because I was selling the big jars. Well, I brought in the smaller one, so if people want to try it, well, they sold out like the first day I brought them on, which I wasn't expecting. I only brought on like 5 of them. They all sold out, so which is good. That's awesome. But I wasn't expecting that. And the Sarah is like a harder order to get because it is. I think they're all made in Germany, and they're also premium. I keep saying the word premium food. They are a premium food, but it's just harder for me to get hold of them. I do need to bring in more of those. But the Sarah Catfish Chips is awesome. It's got some wood in it. The Super Reds will eat it, but that's specifically the Clown Plecos will do great with the wood that's in them. The LFS is thinking that the Clown Pleco is probably like a bushy nose that's going to munch on biofilm and algae and all that stuff. The Clown Pleco needs some wood in its diet. So you can get some driftwood is something you can do. I honestly, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Over here's a block of wood. And to be honest, I don't know what kind of wood this is. This came from Mike, who's usually in the chat. I don't know if he's in here tonight. My rainbow breeder. He had a block of wood, and he's like, "Hey, I got one you can give to those plecos." I originally had to have a rock on it to keep it from floating because it did want to float. It basically kind of looks like a 2x4, but it's not pine. He wasn't sure what kind of wood it was because it actually came from the plecos that I got these. The guy that bred these plecos. Mike also got some of these plecos. He got the babies of these, and the breeder gave him some wood. And don't take that wrong, guys. I know how your mind works. And Mike had a piece of wood, so he let me throw it in the tank. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but driftwood would work. And if you're trying to get food, I recommend the Sarah Catfish Chips. Kelbeth says, what does the wood help plecos with? So plecos, there's some plecos that eat wood as their diet. That's how they get their fiber. I wish I knew more scientific information to give you, but there's some plecos that eat algae and plants. You know, you might want to feed those guys cucumbers, zucchini, stuff like that. But there's also plecos that require that fiber in their diet of that they get from the wood. I don't know if there's other nutrients in that wood that they require, but the biggest way you can tell if you're ever in a fish store that has driftwood in a tank, you can actually see where the plecos rasp is what it's called at the wood. You might see these little lines because a lot of times these plecos will get on something, they chew, and then they kind of move down. They chew and they kind of move down. You start getting these trails. It almost looks like a snail was eating on the wood, but a lot of times it's that pleco. But the plecos, and Matt said, you said wood so many times, I really had to resist. I kind of caught myself like I squirreled in my head like, oh man, like somebody's going to flip this around on me. I already know it, but we'll just keep going. But yeah, so they just need wood in their diet, and driftwood's the way. And I can actually show you guys a thing that I want to sell. Can you guys give me 30 seconds? It's in my other warehouse room, which is right next door. Let me grab it, and I'll be right back. it wasn't exactly what I wanted to show you guys, but I do have these pieces of Malaysian Driftwood. They come like wrapped in this plastic. I ordered it as a test a long time ago. I used some of this wood in my tanks. The axolotl tank has this stuff in it, and my green corridor breeding tank has it. They sell it in like small, medium, large, extra large, jumbo, and to be honest, I don't even know what size this is. This might be large. Hey Matt, you see this wood? It's large. Anyways, I ordered small, and what the small was, think of it from here over. That like shape and everything. It was just like kind of like a square. And like, what the heck are you supposed to do with this thing? Like, it doesn't look decorative. It's not something you put in escape that looks cool. I think it's for like when you can glue pieces of wood together to make an overall scape. So, I mean, they're not exactly square, but they're just kind of like this odd shape. Nothing really fun. But I was like, man, these would be great to, you know, get these chunks of Malaysian driftwood and chop them up into almost like Plecos sticks. So if it's like a 6-inch square box, you know, come into 1-inch by 6-inch long strips, and then maybe I could, you know, wrap them up and sell them for $1 a piece or something like that. So if somebody needs wood specifically for like Plecos, you can drop in that one piece. That way you're not buying these $40 pieces of driftwood for your Plecos to eat. Maybe you got a planned tank with no driftwood, but you still want to supplement them with some driftwood to eat. I thought it might be a good thing to maybe look into. These are the bigger pieces, so this is not what I was thinking of chopping up. For some reason, I thought I had the smaller pieces out there, but they must be in the garage probably. I got a lot of bulk storage stuff in the garage. Matt says, I wish I knew you had that. I just bought wood off Facebook. I hate everything I got. I got a lot of woods. Got a lot of wood, Matt. I can actually go show you some other stuff. Send me that big wood. Do you need my address? I want that wood. Okay, I'm done. And this is not the only piece. I got probably like 5 different pieces there in the room next door. And the thing was, I was looking at selling it, but here's the thing. This stuff's heavy, and it's oddly shaped. So, like, I have a box this fits in. That's not a problem. But, like, the other stuff, you know, it was something I was looking into getting into, but, like, if this is 10 pounds, that automatically puts it into, and it's a longer box. Like, that's going to put shipping kind of crazy. So, I don't want to eat all the profit in shipping out stuff. Because what's going to happen is, someone's going to buy this, they'll buy some other stuff, hit that $51 mark, get free shipping, and it's going to cost me $25 to ship it to them. And I shipped to Hawaii yesterday. And I thought that was cool. I've shipped to Hawaii before, but I just had an order go out yesterday to Hawaii. But somebody in Hawaii or somewhere, Puerto Rico, because I shipped to Puerto Rico and Guam, somebody in Guam is going to buy this. Maybe this is local, like natural in Guam. I don't know, but the point is somebody far away is going to order this, and it's going to cost me $1 million to ship it to them. So that's kind of like why I never listed the driftwood on the website, because I thought it was going to be expensive. That, and like, you never know what the piece is going to look like, so I was going to do like the what you see is what you get, like I did with the beta fish when I was selling beta fish. And I was like, man, like, I'm going to take a picture of every single individual piece of wood. Then I need to, this is going to sound bad, and I don't mean this to sound like I'm greedy, I guess, but I'm going to have to, like, if I'm going to put the time into, like, I'm going to have to label each one of these, which isn't a big deal. I could just write, it's plastic wrap, I could just write right here on the plastic, like, A1, B1, B20, whatever number, like, you know, serialize this so I can keep track of what you buy. But, like, alright, this is what you get, but I'm going to have to make sure it's worth my time and effort, because, like, I'm already busy as heck, working full-time, doing the website, like, business sales at night, and right now I'm fixing cars, which I don't know why I'm fixing cars on the side right now. It's just been, that's been a nightmare. So I'm doing side work on top of all this stuff, and I I'm like, it has to be worth my while. So it can't be like a cheap piece of driftwood. Like I need to be able to make some money off of it, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if there's interest in driftwood, I could look at it and be like, all right, there's a lot of people that want driftwood. Maybe I'll do it. But it's just shipping. Shipping could get crazy. But somebody said that you can do um, where even if you do like the $50, if you buy something that's heavy, because I was talking about substrates, I'm going to stop selling substrates once they're sold out because when people buy like 30 pounds of substrate, it costs me so much money to ship it, and they get free shipping. Um, I'm basically losing money on those. Somebody said that I could do where like, all right, if you're buying substrates, it's automatically going to charge you the $9.99 to cover shipping, which I don't like that idea off the rip. But maybe it might be something where I just have to do that. Like if I'm selling substrates for $8 a bag and it's like $15 or $12 or whatever it is on Amazon, like it's still a good deal. Even and most people right now are buying at least 20 pounds of substrates or up. So even if you got to charge a flat rate of $10 and you bought 50 pounds of substrate, it's still a good deal. But I don't know. That's something I'll have to look into. This is water, by the way. I'm going tomorrow to get the engine for my car. If you've seen the Ohio Fish Rescue videos, I have a pickup truck. But I also have this old Honda Civic that's like a project car of mine. I've had for quite a few years now. And I pick up a new engine. Not new, it's not brand new. It's new to me. Engine for it tomorrow afternoon. The shop I'm buying it from sent me a picture of it tonight. It's ready to go. They did compression test on it, checked it over, made sure it's good. It's like a performance upgrade. It's not like a factory engine for this car. This car was like 100 horsepower. It's slow as crap. I think it was actually like 100 horsepower, 105 horsepower. The new engine is 170 horsepower that's going into it, so it's going to be quicker and it's for the racetrack. But anyways, squirrel, let's not start talking about cars and get you guys all upset because this is an aquatics channel. But I got to do that tomorrow. And along with that stuff, I got to pull the stock engine out. So tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Chris says I pick driftwood from Lake Ontario, clean it, and sell it locally. That's a good side hustle. I like that. Matt. Keep holding that up. I'm making some memes. Oh, Matt, you're terrible. You're terrible, bud. Stevens Wood is all over the internet. Oh my gosh. That's not odd wood, that is beautiful wood. Chris said, will you ship your wood to Ontario? I'm interested in buying everything but live A. I don't ship out of country. And that's, I mean, mainly it's just because it's more of a hassle for me with doing the customs declarations. Shipping is more expensive. I don't know how it works on your end. Like you pay for this amount of shipping to get it there. Do you have to pay some sort of import tax? I don't know what happens once it leaves here. So I don't want to screw anybody with like, yeah, like he just bought $200 worth of wood and then you get charged $100 in tax once you get it. Like, so I don't ship out of the country. I wish I could ship worldwide because I'm sure I could sell a lot of products all over the world, especially my fertilizer. My fertilizer sells really well, and that's something I wish I could sell at least to like all of North America. Okay, I'm trying to scroll back a bit to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Chris said at SC Aquatics, you're the best. You should make your own. This is a big problem for my breeding. If you're talking about fish food, so here's the problem with me going back. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'm thinking you're in the middle of when I was talking about fish food. I've been making my own fish fry food, and I do sell it. I'm sold out because I'm changing some things on it. But I do sell a fry food. I just been hung up on the North Fin fry. It's been very good, so I've been trying to uh, figure out what they do because their fry food is pretty good. Okay, I think I'm catching back up. Chevy says, save it to sell at swaps. I could do that, Chevy Fish, but to be honest, there's somebody locally that brings a ton of driftwoods to our swap meet, and I have a few pieces, so it's not really worth me like hauling it because the person that brings driftwood has like everything. They have, the spider woods and the Malaysian woods and whatever, all the kinds. They have all the kinds and all different sizes. So it's something I wouldn't want to try to compete with. So I only ordered like a quantity of a few of each size, and I've just been using it around my fish room. And to be honest, I forgot I even had these pieces. I was thinking it was the small chunks. I forgot they were the bigger ones. So they'll probably end up in this tank at some point. Because I still want to do something with this tank, like the plants are growing in. The swords are starting to shoot off new growth on those new swords. But I still want to do some scaping in it. Because right now it's just kind of flat, and to me it's barren. Like there's plants, but I need to get some stuff going on in there. Oh man. Oh, Matt. Maybe I should have made Matt a moderator because he posted a link to the meme. I don't always buy wood, but when I do, it's Stevens. Matt, cracking me up. Oh, now he says driftwood rather than just wood. Manzanita. I just gotta say Manzanita. Alright, let me see. Matt F said, at Jennifer Park, you missed a good time. He was trying to sell us wood. And what's funny is I squirreled on that hard because I was trying to answer a question about clown Plecos wood. If you got Malaysian Driftwood, it's good for clown Plecos. Yeah, we're done with the wood. Wood is good, but I make my own. Oh man, if I was not... If this was OFR's channel, I'd be going to town with you guys. But yeah, you could totally go out and grab your own woods. And the only thing I would suggest not to use is anything sappy. Don't use anything that has sap in it. Spruce trees, pines, stuff like that. Hardwood. Alright, I'm done. Alright, so what's up with you guys? This is getting off track real quick. Why? Yeah. Let's stop talking about that. Jim says, I'm sorry, I only asked a clown Pleco. This is what happens when we talk to Squirrel Aquatics. We get way off there. Matt, I'm not even responding to you. I'm just not doing it. Oh my gosh. Alright, let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats during all this talk. I got Matt, thank you again for this super chat, bud. Appreciate you guys. Let's stay live until 2 minutes till midnight. I don't think that's gonna happen tonight, but I wish I had the energy to stay alive for 3 more hours or 2.5 more hours, but that's not going to happen on Friday night, and I still have things to do tonight. I didn't do my water changes before a live stream, so that means I do my water changes after a live stream, and also feed some of the tanks. I fed all the tanks in the house, but I need to feed the fish room. Squirrel, 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 squirrel. Yes, I'm trying to not mention any more Manzanita tonight. that 1 hour mark, so that's probably a good stopping point for tonight's stream. Um, how is the coffee? Chris asked. This is actually water. No coffee tonight because I need to try to get up early tomorrow. And I've learned from the past month or two of when I drink coffee, it makes me extremely happy to drink coffee with you guys and whatnot. While you guys are probably partaking in the OFR drinking game, I usually have coffee. But what happens is it keeps me awake for the live stream because I'm always tired after work. But what it really does, it doesn't amp me up or anything, but keeps me awake. But the problem is it keeps me from falling asleep. So I think it was last Friday? No, last Friday I had to work on Saturday. So 2 weeks ago I had coffee. I was up till like 3 a.m., which I'm an old fogey now. You know, you might not think I'm old. I feel old. I'm a mechanic. I'm old. And 3 a.m. is late for me. Midnight is like usually my go-to bedtime. I'm usually in bed. I try to be in bed by midnight. I usually flip the TV on. I get the girls with me. Oh, before I leave, we'll go look at the girls. I gotta include my baby Havana in here. But usually flip the TV on because I like falling asleep listening to something. I'm usually out in 5 minutes. I was up till 3 a.m. and then Charlotte, that little, woke me up at like 6 a.m. And usually she's pretty good about not getting up. When she was younger, she's 2.5 now. And I got her when she was, let's say 4 months old, 5 months old, something like that. Up until she was about 2, she'd wake up at 6 o'clock every morning with the pawing to the face, which is always a ton of fun. Especially on the weekend where it's like, all right, tomorrow's Saturday, I don't have to work, I'm going to sleep in, 6 a.m., wake up, Dad. She doesn't do that anymore, so that's awesome. Except for when I'm up till 3 a.m., she decides to get up at 6, which is never fun. And then what happened, because obviously I slept for 3 hours, Saturday afternoon, come like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I fall asleep. And here's the problem with my naps. I don't know if anybody likes to take naps. My nap's not 20 minutes. It's not 30 minutes. It's usually like 3 hours. I fell asleep for 3 hours from like 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturday. So you know what that does? It makes me stay up Saturday night till like 3 a.m. It was a vicious cycle 2 weekends ago. Oh, Monday was rough. But anyways, guys, I'm squirreling again. It's been a fun live stream, I gotta say, guys. Glad you guys are hanging out with me. And, yeah. And I keep seeing the super chat at the top, so thank you again, Matt, for the super chat. Oh. Oh, no, I was gonna say she's sleeping, but she's not. She's awake. Get down on the ground. Havana. It's kind of dark. The lights are on, but it's a little dark. I think she's comfortable. But she does have a key word to get her going. Key couple words. Havana, do you want to go for a car? There it is. The word car. She's up now. Hi, baby. You're live on YouTube. You're internet famous now. All right. Charlotte's coming now because I'm giving Havana attention. Come here. She's deaf. I'm sure everybody that's probably here now knows Charlotte, but she's deaf. I asked her to say hi to you guys, but she can't hear me. Dum dum dum. Anyways, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to end it. Oh, wait a minute. Matt. I was going to show you some more of my wood in the axolotl tank, but I won't. We'll end it. Let's end it. Thank you, guys. Oh, there's her face. Oh, don't lick me. All right, squirrel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you next Friday night. Members, if you're not a member, consider becoming a member. It's $4.99 a month. Start doing super chats, become a member. You get a little bit extra stuff, which is not guaranteed, but I might do a members only live stream again this weekend, so stay tuned. I will post on the members community page if I do members only live stream. And 614fish.com. YouTube is the discount code for all you peoples. Members get extra discount too. Become a member. If you order from me, you can save extra money, which ends up paying for your membership, right? Cool. That's it. Squirrel. Become a member, as Matt just said. Become a member and be cool. Live, IHSP, and Chevy. Live. I think that's what you said. Live. Anyways, squirrel. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out.